Talk Fit. I'm Josh Day, CrossFit Level 3 trainer. I remembered this week, there's a little blooper last week where I forgot what I was. And this is?
This is Remus, owner of Leander CrossFit, also Level 3 trainer. And this week we have repeat guest, Laura.
Two-time guest.
Who are you, Laura?
Two-time guest.
Two-time guest.
My name's Laura Allen, and two-time guest, just an athlete here at Leander CrossFit, just an athlete. But I go on adventures.
Yeah, she does.
So that's why we're here.
Big thing, yeah. Well, Laura is going to share with us experience she had recently. If you tuned in, when was that last year? It was same month last year.
July. It had to be July.
July, yeah. You need to refer back to that episode to see what her first experience was with this thing called the Death Race. So I just the name of it alone, she's like, and she signed up for it
Twice.
So, as you know, a bunch of us do a bunch of events outside our gym, and that's the whole purpose of why we do CrossFit, to enhance what we're doing, our quality of life outside the gym. Yep. Some of us participate in endurance races. Some of us do Olympic lifting. We need to actually have Ashton on here and talk about her first time in a singlet.
Can we do a combo, have Ashton and Armando come in? We'll have to get a
that would be amazing.
Or we can all four just squish in.
I know. I have a feeling like if I don't know, like Armando is talkative, and then when you go, I just see him just like
gets weird.
Yeah, and not saying anything. But yeah, I'm so excited to talk to both of them about on the platform, because that is a different type of competition. That is like show pony.
I'm like, that's scary.
Yeah, yeah.
Death Race isn't scary.
And it's just like, and then you might think you have something, and then all of a sudden you don't see 3 white lights. Oh, I don't have that. Like that's it's a totally different thing. We have still to get our tactical group up here. That we'd have to get like a bigger. We need a roadcaster for that.
We need one of those sunken couches.
Yes.
Yeah. Studio for that.
I know. For all those tactical. So Wes is still very much going to these events, judging. That's what he's been doing mainly, and they're doing their skirmishes. I think this past weekend, Liz and Wes did a team skirmish and came in third, so that was kind of cool.
Wes got first, so.
Oh, Wes got first.
Yeah, theirs were different.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He
okay.
got first and
I thought they were doing a team thing.
She got third, yeah.
Okay, so I was thrown off because they posed together. I should have zoomed in.
Yeah,
okay.
Always.
Okay. Yeah. Always zoom in. And then what else is going on? Who else has stuff going on? There's a group of us that are headed to High Rocks in November, and talk about
extracurriculars.
Yeah,
that's why we do this.
A lot going on.
Evan, Cody, and I signed up for TFA.
Yes,
I saw that.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Duality's coming up as
Is
well.
that November again?
Yes, it is November.
Yeah.
There's 3 days left to sign up. I think there's still spots.
Yeah. This coming week, we are gonna change the programming up a little bit. We are gonna stick to our cycle, but also the Service Cup is coming up. Mayhem Group did the programming for that, and it's in collaboration with CrossFit. So you can register, you cannot register. We're going to make the workouts available for everybody. So if you do them, if you get a free, not free, but you can register. You can also sign up for the package where you get like the shirt, and what else is part of that package? There's something else. Yeah, I don't know. Mario walked in here a little bit with the shirts. I know there's at least a shirt.
I was like, someone had the shirt on up there.
So we'll go into Laura's experience. So I'm going to have her, if you can, give like a kind of quick sum up, like what happened last year, and then all the months leading up to, the soul searching. Am I going to do this again? I feel like you knew you were going to do it again, even when it wrapped up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so last year lasted 30 hours. Wasn't quite what I expected it to be. The running joke, right? The egg took me out. The egg.
Would have taken me out too.
So it's funny because now, immediately I knew, before I had even left Boston, I knew that I was going to do it again, because the rumors and everything that was not like any other death race that had kind of ever been. So I was like, okay, well, I'll try anything twice.
Weeks after that, I couldn't look at eggs without thinking about you.
Everybody,
I searched the world for itty bitty eggs.
I had so many people tell me, they were like, I went home and tried to just put an egg in my mouth, and they were like, and I was like, okay, well, that wasn't my plan for you.
The impact.
So that's it. The egg took me out. And it's funny because then my nickname ended up being Huevos Rancheros. So So it's followed me ever since. But I knew right away that I was going to redo it. And as soon as registration opens, it opens usually in July or maybe August. So I registered right away. So the sooner you register, the better, because then you have all our social media challenges month to month.
Yeah.
And if you don't do them, then you kind of get smoked for it there, or you get not necessarily penalized, but it's definitely a benefit to have done them.
Mm-hmm.
But if you register, say in January, you can't go back and do August, September, October, November ones. So it's like the sooner you register, the better. And so I had registered kind of right away. So I had done more of my social media challenges this year. I know you were like, oh, we're going to make sure you guys do them this year. I think I only missed like 2.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 out of like 10. So that's not too bad. So
what are the challenges like?
One of them, I had to solve a slide puzzle hanging upside down. One of them, I had to yoke carry 2 half-full buckets of water for a mile. One of them, I had to find water from a natural resource. This is a good one. I had to find water from a natural resource, filter it, and drink it, like on camera. I remember
that, yeah.
So I got it wasn't Life Straw. It was some other brand, but I did it on my way to the Texas A&M game.
That's right.
Your sister's house or whatever. So I like go find the pond back here, and
cold.
I scoop water. There's ducks flying out of it. I'm like, cool. I drank it and literally had to go to urgent care the next day. I ended up on antibiotics. I felt like my throat, and I was like, well, that's what I get for drinking pond water.
My favorite one you did was everybody thought you were doing community service.
Oh my gosh. So there is a challenge like this every year. What they always part of it is you have to dedicate 4 hours to your community, whatever your community is, help it out, whatever. So I picked our mile route and was picking up trash. And so I'm like walking and like make it hard. So I had my weight vest on.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I'm out there with like a trash bag, like picking up trash, and like members are driving by and they like literally are stopping. They're like, what'd you do? Yeah. Or I walked in, Armando was like, how long they give you? And I looked at him, I was like, 4 hours community service. And he was like, wait, actually? And I was like, well, kind of. I gave it to myself. I actually picked up so much trash. I walked out there with 2 trash bags thinking it was going to be good. And I like filled up the first so quick. And I'm like, okay.
I'm ashamed of you, Leander Drive. Oh my gosh.
Right up and down. Yeah. So that one I had to split into 2 days. So I did like 2 hours one day, 2 hours the next day, and like filled up all around back in the back and everything. So yeah, the community service one. I had to, the very last one, which actually played into what we actually did at Death Race, was the very last one in June, was we had to find a tractor tire that was about twice our weight. And we had to like flip it, step in, and then over it like 500 times.
Oh my gosh.
And so like flip it in, over, like box jump or whatever, right, up and over like 500 times.
You did time lapse for that, right?
I did do a time lapse out here on the turf. It was hot as a lot. It was very hot. And I did it after I did Deca Strong with Carlos.
Oh my gosh.
So we did it that morning. I was like, well, I guess I got to go flip a tire now.
I got to meet Carlos this year. So
yeah. Carlos was one of the winners. Yeah. Shout out
quick little break. She's like, I hear coupon. I was like, I cannot take it. There's a coupon. I cannot take advantage of a coupon.
I have a discount.
Yeah. So Spartan came up. And she has this way of like making something sound like the best time ever. And so I signed up for Spartan 10K. I've never done any Spartan in my life. And I feel like it was the hottest day of the year. But I get to meet Carlos, good buddy of hers, who, is one of her kind. Like just, signs up for these things that are just long endurance. You could get hurt, and you're in the dark, and oh my gosh, it's so dark. Man, this is so embarrassing. But like my son, who just got his permit that week, we were all the way in Bertram, so that's like what, an hour? I don't know. Burn it, yeah.
It's like an hour, yeah.
I was in such a bad state after that I fell asleep, mouth open, and my son drove us home, and he had just got his permit. I'm so ashamed.
So I had done the hurricane heat the night before.
Yeah, I'm not equipped.
I slept for 2 hours in the back of my car and then catch this girl walking out. I was like, hey, let's go do the 10K together.
Gosh. You did that? No, you did that course how many times? You were there also the next morning.
The next day I did the 5K,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I don't know. She just has a way of just like, this is
It's
gonna be
gonna
so fun. And,
So my definition of fun is a little different than most.
It's fun watching that like pattern happen. She was like excited to sign up for it, and then she learned that it was called like a super. She's like,
what is that?
Why
What
is
is
it
a
a
super?
super? What is that? And then like learning about climbing over things and like her experience.
Oh no, but that no, I was yes. Okay, if you know me, I don't like heights. I am really like terrified of heights. We had like a event in February. I had to put like banners on the wall, and I'm shaking going on the highest ladder, which is not even the highest ladder, but I'm just getting up there. And then somebody like, was it you that came up and scared the crap out of me? I was on the top of the ladder. I almost fell. But anyways,
it was me actually.
Was it you? That's right. Yeah.
I approached slowly and still scared her.
Oh my god. So yeah, a couple of these obstacle courses on the Spartan have height. And I was like near tears, so happy that I did that bad boy. Like I just
so proud of her.
Man, yeah, just like I did bouldering like a really small portion of my life before I found CrossFit, and so that kicked in. So I mean, I was really proud of getting over that thing.
I will say that day that was probably one of the highlights of my day was watching you do that.
I
so
almost
proud of you.
cried. I was so I really did. I was just they were here, and my kid was there.
Just for you, though.
Yeah, my kid.
I won't release those.
I was really proud of Tyler too, and that kid like tried every damn one. So
he sure did.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Back to Death Race. Sorry.
So yeah, leading up, I mean, did all sorts of challenges, and they're usually foreshadowing as to like things that you're gonna do while you're there. So kind of once we get there, I had this group chat and like a lot of really just great people, and we all shared an Airbnb. When we all get there. We got there. Yeah.
Is it always the same location?
Always. Yeah, it's always on Joe's Ranch.
New Hampshire? Vermont, okay.
Yeah, always. Death Race is always in Vermont. They have winter and summer.
Okay.
And it's always it's on Joe's farm.
Okay.
It's the farm. And so you kind of get used to it too. You get like a lay of the land. Once you've done certain hikes a couple times, you kind of know better, which is definitely handy, which I didn't know where I was going. So that attributes to a few hours of my time up there. But yeah, we all get there. We got there actually on Wednesday, and we had like a call that they were like, it's not a trap. We're doing a barbecue the day before. If you want to do gear check,
what?
It's just, we just want to get to know you guys and see you guys. And we all got off the call and we all start texting. We're like, it's definitely a trap.
Right.
But you're also like, well, what if there's a benefit? Yeah. They're like, sometimes there is a benefit. Sometimes you're just going to get there and be like, ha, we're starting now. Like, could literally be anything. So we're all just like, well, who's going? Who's not? Like, we pretty much all went. And it wasn't totally a trap. We definitely got put to work. Poor Alyssa. So Alyssa was my crew this year. And this girl, like, we all get put to work. If your crew showed up, they started doing stuff with us. And so we actually had to clear out this barn, like clear everything out. Like Joe's just walking in there. He's like, I want this gone, this gone, this gone. There's pallets in the back. We're all just doing this manual labor. And we end up getting a little poker chip, which does play like later on. I actually didn't end up getting to use my poker chip, but I donated mine to someone who might be able to use it. Yeah. So I was able to like potentially help someone else out with that. But yeah, so that was Wednesday, and then like Thursday it was go time. And we all get there and do check-ins and stuff. And then we find out that they were like, okay, like remember your June challenge, the tire? And we're like, yeah. And they were like, fantastic, you're going to do that again here. And you have until the death race is over to accumulate your 500 again. And we had little punch cards, and like you would do like 100 and like go to one of the crypteas and like they would punch your card. So at some point, like, and if we had downtime or whatever, you would see a couple people just sneak over to the tire and see if they can get like 25 in, or see if they can get like a couple flips in. So you had, it ran 72 hours, the whole thing. If you finished all the way, it was 72 hours. You had like basically just any downtime to accumulate your reps again.
What did you have to pack?
Oh my gosh. This year was like a normal packing list. I felt it was pretty basic. Last year we had some crazy things like a beautiful peacock feather and...
Was that your own Rubik's Cube?
The Rubik's Cube, yeah. So the Rubik's Cube was last year, but we actually had to use the Rubik's Cube, so that kind of made sense. This year it was like a slide puzzle. It was really just a lot of like basic kind of hiking, backpacking stuff. We did have to take the slide puzzle. I'm trying to think. There weren't anything really like weird on it, which kind of made some of us nervous. We were like, this is almost too basic. Like, this is almost too easy. They did assign us, like, uniforms this year, so we had to wear white T-shirts, black pants, so we all kind of looked the same. Joe had his own reasons for that. But even crew had to wear white t-shirts, black pants. So she had, like, Alyssa and I had that. So I had like 5 extra just white t-shirts because we were getting dirty and grungy out there. So nothing crazy on the packing list. But the pack, and plus we had our sandbags, men's had to be 50, women's were 35. So our packs, we always have to have 2 buckets. So 2 buckets, ideally with lids. And like a lot of people learned lessons, like get your bucket and have a lid. And so at any point in time, you had to have like your pack, 35-pound sandbag, 2 buckets, like bungee corded on there somehow, and like whatever food you can carry, all your safety supplies, first aid, bivy kit, or like bivy emergency blanket, and whatever else you happen to want on you. So like with my sandbag, my pack was probably close to 45, 50, like 50 pounds, 55, 60 pounds. Oh. And we did most of our stuff with that pack. We didn't always have our sandbag in it, which helped. But it was still, I mean, don't be found anywhere without what's at least on the mandatory kit.
So, okay, what time of day does it start?
Starts in the morning. Okay. So started about, I don't know, like I think it was, arrival time was 8 and then it kicked off at 9. So we all got there at 8 and then we all just kind of immediately started on our tires. Okay. But there were only like there were only 2 girls tires and like 2 or 3 guys tires. So we're all kind of like standing there like, well, hurry up. Yeah. Like, I want in there. So then it's like, then it's like already kind of like every man for himself. Yeah. Because at some point it's going to come down to like if you don't have them done, you don't finish. Yeah. Which it came down to that for some people. Like they worked all 72 hours. I think they even gave them an extra 30 minutes. So there were at least 2 that I know of that worked 72 and a half hours and they didn't finish their final task. So they got a pat on the back and come back next year.
Wow.
Yeah, tough break for them. So I hope they go back next year. But yeah, so we start in the morning. And I have notes on my phone as to everything that we did because there was so much. Last year we didn't go in the pond at all, which I was super grateful for. But that's, if you know me, like cold water is my like kryptonite. Like ice baths sound like absolute torture to me. If you want my deepest, darkest secrets, you're gonna be like, get in that ice bath right now and be like, what do you want to know?
I feel like that's the first text that we got from Alyssa.
She's not well.
No. That not you. That was the showstopper for a lot of people. The hypothermia.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just a shock. So the water that they put us in, it's called the Beaver Pond, and it completely freezes over in wintertime. Like that's what they were like. They had to break ice to get their bibs out for winter last year. No. And so like it's cold. Like it is cold. I don't get in cold water, so I can't totally tell you the temperature. But I've heard other people say it's like 50s. Or like potentially lower.
But at some point, doesn't you can tell me 50 is the same as 30 is the same as 20. Like
it's cold.
Yeah,
it's cold when you have really not much on. And so the first water task we did. So one of our social media challenges was a 1 mile open water swim, which was wild for me at the time because it was in October. So it was like 2 months right after like CrossFit Games. Yeah. So I was like, I did take swimming in college as one of my electives. So I'm like, I feel like I'm a fairly strong swimmer. But I've never open water swam, especially for like a mile before. So I took Alyssa with me. Yeah. I was like, Alyssa, you're swimming this mile with me.
Definitely
and
she's a strong swimmer.
We went down, we went down to the quarry at Lifetime. And we found like a little buoy and we like mapped it out. And we did the mile swim. And so we were like, well, I was coming to terms with it. I'm like, I'm swimming at some point. Like I got to get in the water. And so like one of the first big water tasks we had was we had a swim meet. And so it was like, go drop your bags and like first 4 to here is on a team. And so we ended up kind of lining up and we all ended up in our single file lines and we were in our lines for our meet. And they were like, all right, everybody on the team, we had our sandbags too. So when you weren't swimming, you're holding at least one sandbag, but your team has someone swimming. So you have to figure out as a team how to hold the other. And it's like all murky, so it was, everybody had to take turns to go down, touch the grass on the other side and swim back. And I think Danielle was first. So I love Danielle. Her and I ended up vibing really well. And they were set 3, 2, 1, go. And she went for it. And I was like, well, I can't not now. Like nobody eased into that water. I was like, okay, we're doing it. And someone else went, and then it was my turn, and I just went in, and it is like a shock. Like I'm like, like trying to swim semi-coordinated, get down there and back. I was super grateful because Alyssa did get a video of that, and I don't look like an idiot. A lot of people were struggling way worse than I was as far as the swim. So I did make it down and back, and we did good. My team won, which means we got out. So we were out. They were like, all right, now you guys go again until another, like, and then we got out, and then they got out. So I was like, thank God I only had to do that one time. I mean, I would have figured it out, right? You do it, but I didn't love that. But we won the swim meet. We come back.
And you're drenched.
Completely, yeah, you're completely wet. At least it's like kind of daytime, so it wasn't, and once you get like moving again, but yeah, we're doing like this kind of stuff when we're standing in line. I think that's when we did the jump rope. So we had paracord. One of them was also had to jump rope a mile for one of the social media challenges. So they were like, all right, here's your tree line, make a rope out of your jump rope and like jump around it. And like, you know, don't be last. Pays to be a winner, as Andy says. And also don't be last. So we all like cut it real quick, and like I'm like I've jump roped, so I'm like I know what size to make it work. Some people was like way too long. Some people were like, so I'm like, okay, well, didn't look like an idiot there either, thank God. And then they make us go down in the creek, and we had to jump rope down the creek. If you want to call it jump roping. There's also a video of that, but it's like you're like kind of just stepping where like you think you can step and land, and just like I would do the jump rope, and it would like you know, float down the creek at me, and I'd like step over it. Quite a few people were falling, and I was like, my busted ankle is like, we're not doing that. We're not busting an ankle again. No. So I was like, well, I'm not winning this one, but I'm not going to come in last. So we did that, and then we got to do hydro burpees in the river.
We got to.
Yeah, we got to. Exactly. We got partnered up with people. So I got partnered up with this guy, Sabi. He was actually one of the finishers as well. He's from Australia. Shout out Australia. And Sabi, super cool. Cool guy. So you have to do like face-to-face burpees, and like as a team you have to accumulate so many, but if you don't put your face in the water, like they're calling you out, and like they'll pull you out, and like you have to go do like individual like hydro burpees where everything goes underwater or something like that. So like make sure they're good.
CrossFitters, quit whining about burpees.
Yeah, you could be doing them in a cold creek in Vermont. So then we did hydro burpees. Don't cry me
about your chest having to come in contact with the ground. Come on.
Oh, our chests were coming in contact with the bottom of the creek. And then we go back. I think I skipped the part where we had to do the dunks. I don't know, but either the tough part where some people were dropping at the swim meet. Quite a few people dropped when we started to do the dunks. So we get back and we line up.
Dropped out?
They were quitting. Yeah. Some people quit during the swim meet because
that's cold, man.
It's cold. Yeah. It's cold, and it's a tough spot to be in for sure. So then, I don't know, we have a hard time counting off. I'm guilty. I was one of them who messed up the counts at least once. But I went from being 3, and then I said 3 the next time, and they were like, no. And I'm like, what do you mean no? And then I said 3 again, and they're like, you're 2. And I was like, shoot. Sorry. And so, I don't know, poetic justice. It's not all me, but we end up back in the pond. And there was 36 of us left. So 40-something of us started. 36 of us left, and they made us link arms. And then we had to do 36 dunks, completely underwater. And let me tell you what an external brain freeze feels like. Feeling the water go on your head, and it hurts your head. It's so cold. And I am low-key panicking. Alyssa's across the pond holding up a picture of Zoe. And I'm just externally panicking. The dunks were, honestly, I wanted to really quit. And then I've told her this, Lisa, she was in another house, but she was in our little group chat. And I remember looking across the circle of people, and she's just cool as a cucumber. And I'm just frantic. And I'm like, how is she? I'm like, okay, if Lisa can do this, I can do this. And then one guy took charge of our counts, because we did way more than 36, because some of us were just I'm ready, and we're we're not ready. So we're all kind of, and they were this has to be 36 synchro dunks. You guys need to figure this out. You're not coming out till it's done. So I'm just we got to figure this out. So Bull, another guy from Australia, super cool guy, love Bull. he ended up counting us off, and he's like, "Are you ready?" And there were a few times where I was like, "I'm not ready." I was definitely kind of the wink on that one.
So like in CrossFit terms, what I'm thinking about is like when they do worm workouts, you need somebody to take lead to make sure that
everyone's
the timing
synchro.
And, yeah.
So doing that, it dunking underwater. So this is so fun.
And this is what, midday?
This is midday day one.
Okay.
Yeah. So we make it through that. They give us a little break. We get to go back to our bins, and I want dry clothes.
Yeah.
So a bunch of us, like, we're all changing, and like at that point you really don't care about anything. I had a list
the modesty out of here. I don't care.
Me and Danielle, let me tell you, we did not care. Every day I changed my sports bra.
Yeah.
I need to dry everything. And so we made it back. I'm trying to think, we had some other challenges, and then like into the day, the big kind of star of the show for us was they had us, it was towards the night, so our crew had already gone home, and they told us, they were like, go back to your bins, and you guys are gonna get stuff for your pack and anticipate being gone for a long time. And we're like, okay, we don't know what any of that is. And we're all walking to our bins. It's like midnight, and we're like, what the heck's happening? We get back, and we had to sign an additional waiver for this. We had to have somebody else witness that we had our emergency bivvy, which is like a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Our first aid kit, and like one or two other things. They were like, someone has to witness that you have this on you. Because where you're going, nobody's coming to get you. And so then they had us pull our phones out. They let us have our phones this year, but like we couldn't, like, obviously we're not like pulling it out randomly. Right. But they were like, all right, we sent everybody an email. So you have an email in your email, connect to our Wi-Fi. You should have downloaded this app. It was in our show up instructions was to have this app downloaded. And so we had this app, and they sent us an email. We clicked the link, and they were like, that's your route. And it was a 5-mile route. So the map was like a topography map. And so it was like point A, point B was the top of this trail, but our route was like a straight line. And so there's no trails in a straight line. Like they sent us bushwhacking for 5 miles with our gear. And we started at like 2 or 3 o'clock. And I think 2 o'clock, I sent the text to Alyssa. I was like, we're going to be gone for a long time. And I don't know when I'll be back. I don't know like what the plan is.
So she's chilling where?
She's at the Airbnb. Okay. So with the big group, with the group chat, we got an Airbnb. So her and there was one other crew guy.
Okay.
So they could come and go. They just they get kicked off grounds at like 8 or 9 o'clock or something, and then they can't come back until 8 or 9 o'clock the next day. So I text her at like 2 in the morning. I was like, it reminds me of Gru from Despicable Me, where he's like, I'm about to do something crazy and it's going to be fun, or it's going to be amazing, or something like that. So it's like, we're getting sent on an adventure. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how long I'll be gone. All I know is this is my map, and it's a straight line through the woods. And there are some like logging roads, and they told us, they were like, if we catch you on any of the logging roads, then we're pulling you. Like, you're done. That's the end of your race. And so we get released at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, you have until 9 to be at the marker, wait for instruction, and then you have until 3 p.m. tomorrow to be back at the farm. And so we're all just like, are we going to be gone for 12 hours? Oh, wow. Like, how terrible is this about to be? So we all, like, literally 3 o'clock in the morning, they're like, have at it. And we go wandering off into the woods with all of our stuff and like a GPS map. And so that was a time. Like, just stay on the line. We're like going ups and we're going downs, and there's trees and who knows what else in the dark in the forest in Vermont at 3 o'clock in the morning, 4, 5, 6.
Like, you're okay. You're driving before, whatever, but like the unknown.
Yeah.
You know, like, how much am I gonna be able to, like, what can my body take? What am I willing to put up with?
Yeah.
You know?
It was, I mean, once you get out there too, so they basically said, which is similar to Green Beret stuff too, is, you know, once you get out there, like, no one's coming to save you.
Yeah.
Like, where we were was so dense and so untouched that, like, if someone fell and broke their leg, like, that's going to be a whole search and rescue mission. Like
Yeah.
we could get a hold of someone, but like no one's coming for a while if they had to come get you at all. Otherwise, like you better take care of yourself and others and figure it out.
I kind of wish we asked Alyssa to be on here too at the same time, because there was other stories that she had.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a bear.
There was a bear. So her and I have actually talked about doing like a full on recap. Like I have notes in my phone with like way more detail.
Yeah.
But she ran from a bear. I swear I got tracked by a bear. Coming down, like the first night we were going up and back and forth to Shrek's cabin, which is a 1 mile, like 1,000 feet of elevation. If you go to Death Race, like you're going to go to Shrek's a few times. So one of the times I was up there, we were trimming grass with scissors. I had to have a bucket full of grass with scissors.
What are you willing to put up with? Yeah. Yeah.
It was in the middle of the night and I got up there, I filled my bucket. Me and Carlos start heading back down and he looks down and he was like, "Where's your lid?" And I was like, you can't leave anything, like, and they're gonna know if it's yours. Mine also had pink duct tape on it, so of course it's mine.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I gotta go. We hadn't gotten more than 300 yards down the mountain. I was like, go, go, go. I'll be right down. So then I'm like hiking down from Shrek's by myself at like midnight, and like you hear steps behind you, and you turn around, and there's no headlamps behind you. I'm looking forward. I can't see anyone's green chem lights because we have to have chem lights on our packs in the dark. I don't see chem lights in front of me. I don't see headlights back behind me. And I'm just looking around and I swear a few times I heard steps and I would turn around. And then I kept hearing steps and I was like, you know what? We're just not going to turn around anymore. But she ran from a bear. Like the bears were actually taking our bins. So like Carlos's bin, I think got broken into. And we saw like the little swipes, like it had opened his nerds clusters or like the little nerds thing. So like that was just ripped wide open. And like someone thought someone had stole their bin. Someone who had like dropped, he was like, no, someone took my bin. They found it in the tree line. Like they were like dragging them in the tree line, like getting our food out. So there were definitely bears. Yeah, we knew that going up the mountain, like bushwhacking. And it was, 5 miles there. We got there at about 7. The group that I was with, at least, we got there at 7, and that was the only time I slept for the 38 hours I ended up being out there. So I slept for like 30 minutes.
So at this point here, there's still like you're still convinced I'm still gonna fall through with this. Like there's no.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was having a blast.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like the last like mile or so of that 5 miles bushwhacking. Like you're bushwhacking through mud, through everything. Like my socks are wet. Like I'm like tired. I'm also now been going for 24 hours and like we're bushwhacking and I'm just like, no way I'm bushwhacking back through there. I'm going to find a log. We're going to find a way around bushwhacking. No, I slept for like 30 minutes. The guys finally came. Nate actually built us a fire. So I got to like put my little toes by a fire.
But it's like, don't be the jerk and take more of the
fire.
And,
like, can I stack my feet? Yeah. So a few of us, like we got to, sit around a fire for a second at the top of this mountain at 7:30 in the morning. And then
that gets you killed in Hunger Games, though. So at what point is doubt like creeping in?
Honestly, doubt never really crept in.
Okay.
Like I was so good with it. That was a huge difference from last year. Like last year was so unknown, and I just didn't know my capabilities or what I wanted out of it or everything like that. Like I was so ready to take on I was like, I'm gonna do all the challenges. We're gonna do it. I guess there was a little bit where I was like, this is. So anyways, we get back from bushwhacking, and like me, Carlos, and Gio, who's one of the people who didn't finish but not finished. We're one of the last ones to get let go from the top of the mountain, and they were like, all right, it's a race back to the farm. And let me tell you, it was reckless because we were one of the last ones to let go. And so we ran. Let me tell you, when we ran bushwhacking, it was wild. Gio was like leaning on trees, completely uprooting them because it's also wet back there. We're sliding down mountain, like we're just like scooting, sliding, running. We catch up to heck of people. And we end up the three of us end up in the top 5 first back to the farm. And we pull back into the farm at like, honestly, maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock. Oh. And all the race directors are like, what are you guys doing here? Like, I don't think they expected us to get back so fast. And I feel like they just like made stuff up for a little bit because we kind of ruined their itinerary. I didn't ruin it, but they were like, how'd this happen? Because when we started catching up with people, then people were like starting to then they would like sync up with us. And then like the very last little bit, we're all like, then it turned into like a legit foot race. Like we're all sprinting after bushwhacking overnight. So it was a time. Yeah. So there was that. And then Throughout the night, the first night before we went on bushwhacking, we did a PT test, and then so it was half PT test and then half grass cutting. But the PT test was, it was like 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. We had to do a certain amount of burpees, and then like grab your stuff and like run up to Shrek's, and we like set a time, or there was farmer carries of buckets of water and some other stuff. And so like that had set our time. And then, I'm like trying to remember the order of everything. So we did that overnight. May have been actually when we got back from the farm, or back from bushwhacking. And then they had us do some other like races, like run to the tree line back, who's doing this, who's doing that. And then I remember like going into the late afternoon, I end up one of the first girls out of the pit, and we're headed up to Shrek's with all of our stuff, like sandbag and everything. So like, I'm exhausted. I have 50, 60 pounds on my back, and I'm like trying to make this hike up to Shrek's. Like I said, it's 1 mile, 1,000 feet of elevation. And I think I'm actually doing okay. I'm still in like a great mental place. I get up to the top of Shrek's, and this is where it like all unravels. I get up to the top of Shrek's. They make me do some burpees, whatever. And they're like, okay, like now you're going to Fiona's. So there's Shrek's cabins and Fiona's cabin. And I was like, okay, well, I've never been there. And they tell me, well, that's not about to be true. I'm like, well, how do I get there? And meanwhile, Danielle, like, I thought she was in front of me. She's super strong, super fast. Like, she trains for this more specialized than I do. So I thought she was in front of me, and I had finished my burpees, and I look over, and she's coming out of the bushes, and I'm like, the hell are you doing here? Like, I thought she was way in front of me. So her and I actually synced up, because she had been to Fiona's at least once.
Oh, thank goodness.
But it was during snowshoe, like, they do snowshoe races, and so it was all snowed over. And so they were like, okay, so I'm leaving Shrek's, and she's like right behind me, and they're like, okay, you see those orange trail markers? I'm like, yep. They were like, follow the orange trail markers. Too easy. Got it. Start taking off. A few other people on trail, and eventually, like, Danielle and I sync up. We're together, and we come to this like T, and then you start looking in all the directions, and all the trails have orange trail markers.
Oh no.
Your guess is as good as mine. Any of us on this couch could be back there and would have as good a guess to which way do you go with all of this stuff on me after hiking to Shrek's. And that's where I started just being like, yo, what? Because what if I don't make it? What if this is a time hack? Like, we're getting into like more individualized stuff. So now like time hacks are becoming a thing. And so we go back and forth. We start going one way. She's like, this doesn't look right. And I'm like, I'm following you. You've been there at least once, one more than me. So we go one way. She's like, this isn't right. We go back. And I'm like, well, we know it's not this way. We start to go this way. She's like, nope, we go back. And we like literally did that for maybe a half hour. And I was like, yo, whatever way we go, we have to commit
to it. Yeah.
We have to commit. Otherwise we'll never know. And so we go one way, and turns out maybe wasn't the right way. And we end up on this like mountain biking trail with like another guy had caught up to us, and we're like, we'll eventually get to a road. We know that. And these mountain bikers come up behind us, because it is like a big mountain. Like you can actually Airbnb Shrek's.
Okay.
You can like all this, like people go out there and like hike the trails and stuff. And so these mountain bikers come up on us, and they're like, what are you guys doing out here? And we're like, we're looking for Fiona's. Do you know where it is? And they were like, well, you can get there from here, but it's going to be a little ways. You'll eventually come to a road. He kind of gave us directions. We're like, all right, well, just hoof it.
It just sounds
like,
really long.
Yeah, it was. So I don't know how we ended up there, but we ended up on the road. We see this Sprinter van like parked on the road, and someone's there, and we're like, do you know where Shrek's is? It turns out it's Joe DeSena, like the founder. Like, it's his ranch. And he's like, oh, you guys want to know where Fiona's is? And we're like, oh, we really don't want to ask because there's going to be a catch.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, yeah, we kind of need to know. And he says we have to help him push the van. So we literally push the van like off the road, and we push it up the hill to get to Fiona's. That's how we managed to get to Fiona's. So we get to Fiona's, and Alyssa had turned around. She's like, where have you been? And I was like, I actually don't know. Somewhere on the
mountain.
Somewhere on the backside of the mountain with all of this. And so they're taking our phones, and this is where she was just like, you almost got cut. So that was like a time thing. That was a time hack. And we were, I think, within the last 4 or 5 to arrive, and they cut the last 2 or 3. So me and Danielle barely made it. And then, so this was like the finale challenge for me, at least. This is where I finally like tapped. But so you get there. Before we got there, we had been emailed a poem that was in your best interest to memorize, but it was the poem if you know that. And it's like long. So like 15, 16, 20 stanzas or something. Wow. And so I had done Death Race before, printed it and laminated it, and it was in my pack. So I thought of that. I thought ahead. I was like, I'm going to need to know this poem at some point, and I'm not going to memorize it. So I had it laminated. And so we get to, like, the challenge itself is you roll a pair of dice at the top, and that determines which stanza you need to memorize.
Okay.
And so then you and all of your gear on lap 1, so my pack, me, my sandbag, my 2 buckets, have to slide down a storm drain and then bear crawl down a ravine that's covered in barbed wire. Like, it's a barbed wire crawl down a ravine. You can't stand. Like, you can't stand up at all. So you and your sandbag and all of your stuff are now sliding down like a little black drain pipe into this ravine, bear crawl down. The poem is like in sheet protectors, nailed upside down on this log way down at the bottom. Like, memorize your stanza and then bear crawl with all of your stuff back up, crawl back up through the drain pipe. There's video of me somewhere actually crying because I'm a little claustrophobic on and with all of my stuff. I was like, no one's allowed to, like, I need daylight on both sides of this tube. Like, so I did it. You get down there, memorize your stanza, and that's where Danielle is. She stood up because this participant had zero, like, regard for anyone, and she was just throwing her stuff to, like, get down there, and her bucket literally, like, tumbled, hit Danielle in the back of the leg as her and I were about to go up, and Danielle stood up, and she's like, what the, like, and one of the race directors that came over, and he was like, you're standing, get out of here. And she's like, she starts fighting, like, she's having a me moment from last year. Yeah. Like, they start flying, and so she crawls up out of there, and that was actually the last time I saw Danielle.
Oh, gosh.
I was so sad. Love her. But, yeah, so you and all your stuff come back up. You have to then recite it, like, perfectly. Punctuation and like, you have to recite your stanza. And, of course, they're messing with us, too. So they're just like, wait. Weren't you the one that had the eggs last year?
Oh,
like,
my gosh.
well, I'm just like, Alyssa has video of me doing this, so I'm like, memorizing. I'm just like going over it in my head, and I'm like talking to them. I'm like, I need you to stop talking right now. Like, it's like a whole interaction. And so they're like, all right, let's hear it. And so, like, I get the first one. The second one, you don't have to take your sandbag. But so I went and dropped my sandbag. I got something to drink, and Alyssa, little intel, she was just like, honestly, you guys are going to be doing this till 2 o'clock in the morning. Just keep going until keep doing 2 laps of this till 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, this just doesn't even sound fun anymore. So that was like the backside of the mountain. I was starting to get concerned. And then it was like, once I kind of knew that I was just going to be climbing up and down a ravine for the foreseeable future. Another little thing that was in the back of my mind was earlier in one of the days I was out there, we had built a sauna next to the pond. Like, we had built like this whole like wood truss and like put this like fabric up and stuff, and they had like sauna next to the pond. And so one of the other guys, he was like, if you think that we built a sauna next to the pond and we're not sauna cold plunging, like, you must be new here. And I was like, ooh, that's a fantastic point. I had already faced the water. I did great in the water. I love the sauna.
Yeah.
If I get in that sauna, I'm going to get to like toe the edge of the water and be like, no.
Yeah.
This is where I would have quit then and there. And so I made the decision. So after lap 1, right, we can ditch our sandbags. And then it was early enough. It was still like, it was dusk-ish. And so I was like, are there any restaurants still open? If I quit soon, can I get food? Because I'm hungry. I want like real food. So I do this second lap, and they had taken our phones, and they were like, if we see you with like any cheating, then we'll take it. So then we started writing it on our arms with Sharpie. Then they started taking our Sharpies. They were like, no, you can't do that anymore. So after the second lap, I was like, well, I'm not doing this till 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm kind of over it. Everything's wet. I'm starting to get kind of cold, and you know what? 38 hours was great. So I do one more lap because it was slick. So I didn't have to take anything with me. I was like, you know what?
Nice.
I'll do one more, because then lap 4, they were making everyone put everything back on. So lap 4 was back with your pack, your sandbag, your bucket, everything. I was like, well, I don't want to do that. I'm going to quit overnight because I'm not sauna cold plunging. Like, I know that. We've established that. And I've come to terms. I was in such a fantastic mood going up and down that ravine slick. I was like, hey, it was so great racing with you this year. And everyone's just like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, I'm going to quit after this. We're done here. Like, I've had a great time. So I did my last stanza. I like said my last stanza, and they were like, great, okay, roll the dice for number 4. And I was like, actually, no. Yeah. Y'all can have my bib. It's been great. Yeah. It's so fun. And they're like, everyone was just like, wait, what? Because I was doing pretty, I think. I was doing pretty good. Like, I think I could have actually been a contender if I could pull it together for sauna cold plunging, but that was just not going to be it for me. Yeah. Went home, slept, ate, shower, like all that, and then we could go back and like watch everyone else finish. Me and Alyssa could go back and like Carlos and Gio in the house, he was still going, and so we could kind of go watch that. And then we got got kicked off the ranch right the last night, but that's that's the last night because it only goes for 72 hours. And so we get back to the house, I get all packed up and sandbag dumped, all this stuff, and we're packed up. We're just sitting there, and I was like, dude, I want to watch them finish, because like the last few hours is really where it gets like gritty, and it's all 100% individual, like no more teaming up. It's really every man for himself. So we're like, let's go back. Yeah. So we go back to the ranch. We stayed up all night with them, and we were watching them complete their tasks or fail their tasks, and see who's pulling ahead of who. How
many are left at this point?
8-ish, and then it dwindled. Once it got to there, there weren't two. They were pretty much just letting people go, letting people try to go through to the finish. And 6 people did finish. 6 people earned their skull. But yeah, so we stayed up all night, and we watched, like Carla, we watched them all like do these tasks, and like we couldn't help them, but it was like watching them live, complete all this stuff. Like it's truly amazing watching the like people who do that stuff, and like what bodies are capable of. And like they were out there for 72 hours, like sauna and cold plunging, sleeping no more than 30 minutes, like still doing slide puzzles. And they had to go up to Shrek's and look at a Lego structure for 30 seconds and come back and try to rebuild it. And that's a mile and 1,000 feet of elevation gain every time. And if you get it wrong, you had to go back and then come back and try to rebuild it and then go back. Like people were doing that like 3, 4, 5 times. So like round trip, that's 6, 7, 6, 8, 10 miles for one of the challenges.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
And they were doing it. They did it. 6 people finished.
Gosh.
And their tire flips.
And their tire flips.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So that was that's
And so
that's
6 people, they're called, they're skulls that they.
Skulls. Yeah. So yeah, it's actually a little skull, and they write on it and everything. So. Yeah.
Did Carlos like fly back with that thing? Like
I think so. I think he's going for the winter one this year too.
Oh my God, where's that at?
The same place.
Same place.
It's on the farm.
Oh.
I think I'm crewing for Danielle.
Oh, fun!
I offered. I was like, if you need crew, let me know. I will never do the winter death race, but I'll crew for you so I can, and then go back. I'll bring you dry clothes. So that was that adventure, but the other adventures this year. Green Bay stuff.
So we're gonna name this podcast 10 of Rebecca's Hard Nose. Like she lived through all of them. Yeah. So other stuff coming up is that if you're interested at all about like what she goes through, because she's in the inn on this group of people that do events like this.
Yeah.
Death Race is one of them. And then was it earlier this year or last year you became ambassador for...
So I'm an ambassador this year.
Of Green Bay Fitness.
Yep. Next year too.
Yeah, they recognized the skills in her, so brought her on as an ambassador. So she's just in that had some amazing experiences. Also, you just got back from Colorado.
Yeah. I'm like, which one?
Yeah. Colorado. Alyssa went with you on that one too.
Yeah. So I did.
Alyssa participated in that one.
Through them this year, I did my first 100K. So that was Operation Ocala in January. So it's 168 plus miles, and you have 24 hours to do it with your like dry weight was 20 pounds. So like my pack weighed 35 pounds. Yeah. 24 hours to finish it. Finished in 23:27, or I had like 27 minutes to spare.
Yeah.
So did my first 100K through them overnight through the woods of Florida.
Yeah.
So that was that. And then I did through them Utah in July. which was outside of Provo, which was like 20, 30 miles up a mountain, like the mountain. Just I'm climbing mountaintops.
Yeah.
The views. Like,
Yeah.
someone did ask me recently, they're like, why do you do this stuff?
No,
And I was like,
no. And then
the views from the top, you guys. What? Nobody else is seeing that with their eyeballs. This is
another
magic.
one of my memories from when we did that Spartan 2 is like, you know, because I was moving so slow. But she was like, no, you know, this is, you know, when I'm usually doing these Spartan things, I'm like in it, right? And I'm like focused and
blinders
moving.
on.
But because she got to take her time with me, she was. No, she was stopping and taking pictures. Like I would not have noticed. Like this,
Look at
like
these blue
beautiful.
bonnets.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Like, holy shit, a pine cone. Now, you know, just like, you know, it's gonna be so.
Okay, but yeah.
But like, you know, and so that's a cool thing about these experiences too. And so I thought of Laura because I get a visit because I, you know, my business coach that came in and we were talking about like, you know, managing planners and it's like, you know, you know, what I want for myself, what I want for everybody else is like, you have you know, if you were to die today and someone were to look to see what has been on your plan, on your calendar, were you living, you know, what did you have, you know, in your day to day?
Is it just a bunch of work shifts?
Yeah, exactly.
What else are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what else is on there?
Yeah. Are you working out just to work out? Or are you like using this health and this youth that you have right now and actually experiencing, you know,
there's some amazing things.
Leaving Leander, Vegas every now and then, you know, it's amazing here, but like, you know, what are you doing with it? Right. Yeah. So this is an amazing resource right here just to see, you know, not even half of what she does during the year, but just, you know, find something that challenges you, pushes you way out of your comfort zone. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Like, you know, well,
bears.
Depends on what you're signing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's truly Green Beret like has taken me new places, which was one of the things, right? I raced Spartan for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I hit the venues I wanted to hit, and then it's, you know,
What's next?
Not necessarily outgrow, but you need a change of scenery, something to keep it fresh, something to keep you motivated, something new to sign up for. And Green Beret has definitely taken me to lots of new places. I think I've checked off like 4 new states this year.
There are worse addictions in life.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I come back with really cool stories like like rock jumping in Zion and climbing mountains, Utah. I did Yosemite.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in the high Sierras, but it still took me somewhere that I had never been before.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful up there. 2 14ers. I didn't even know what 14ers meant, first of all. I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it was just like Operation 14ers, like that's a cool name.
Yeah.
And then I want to say 2 to 3 weeks before I started like reading up on it because Alyssa was telling me about like elevation sickness and how she's like, it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it'll be fine. Don't do that. But like I do that. I'm like, it'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's gonna be great. And I start really looking into it, and I'm like, oh, this might be a problem. And I start looking. It's like when you hike the 14ers, and I'm like, is that like a real thing? So then it's like a real term. I'm like, oh, I thought it was just a cool name. So yeah, hiking 2 14ers in one day, like that wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
Never even dreamed of doing that. Now I'm thinking, when can I do Pikes Peak? I want to go back and do it. I missed tags by 23 minutes for the 14ers.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I had 23 minutes faster in me, maybe.
You
so
know, you could find that time.
My moving time was 5 hours and 19 minutes, but my total time was 5:53, and tag time was 5.5 hours.
Gosh.
So I'm thinking somewhere in there I had something. I don't know.
Too many pictures of the
Too many.
flower,
Yeah.
Of the pine cones. There's no trees. No, you're above the tree line up there.
Yeah.
That was my first time ever, being that high on a mountain before. So all sorts of new, even, someone seasoned who's been around in this world, there's always new doors to be opened.
Yeah.
And it's a whole world that so many people just don't even know exists.
Yeah.
So.
Or even just pushing thresholds, man.
Yeah.
So, something cool that we're doing here, like we've done it before. We've been like the venue. We did this back around the Baghdad location, but this through Green Beret Fitness, we are going to be able to host. I'll let you talk about it. So in November.
It's called Operation Endure.
Yeah.
And it's 24 workouts in 24 hours. So at the top of the hour, every hour for 24 hours, they drop a new workout. So they only release the workout, like I want to say a couple minutes before. And you and your it's a pairs thing. So it's a partner thing. But it was actually kind of neat. So I was watching, they just did one in Virginia in August. And one of the challenges was like, as the gym as a whole, you have the hour to accumulate like 50,000 meters. And you have all the rowers to do it.
Wow.
So like some of it's pairs, some of it's like a gym as a whole.
Yeah.
So I think that that's really cool too. Like it's a big community thing. Another little plug in there is one of the mandatory gear items is a 40-pound bag of dog food.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then they donate all the dog food to a local shelter, so wherever they
Love
host it at. Yeah, so top of the hour, every hour, 3, 2, 1, go, and you have the hour to complete the workout. The workout could be 30 seconds max cal on the bike, could be Murph.
It's always talking about some Christopher and Mike were talking about. I was like, what if it's Murph? Like
it could be Murph.
Yeah.
Could be 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And so your rest and recoup time is whatever time you have left in that hour. So I was talking to Christopher. I'm like, do you think we could set up camp across the street here and just talk to the neighbors and be like, we're gonna have hanging hammocks in there?
I love it.
And
go hang out with the donkey.
Yeah. Well, I love that donkey.
Valerie's still alive and kicking, y'all.
So 24 hours. So we'll start on Saturday at 9 a.m. I believe is the first workout, and then so like 8 a.m. the next day, Sunday, they'll drop the last one, and then we have till 9 a.m. the next day to be done with it. And Sam is like, she bought her flights as far like she sent them to me yesterday. She's like, this work? I'm like, yep. So we're at 100% go.
Yeah. So our people here, they're gonna be in tents. You know, if the workout's short enough, they can probably take off if they want to.
Yeah.
And
if you live close enough.
Yeah. But this, we did something kind of similar to this in 2021. It was still like during COVID time, but it was like it was really cool collaboration between us and Orange Theory and CG people. And there was a Google sheet that all of us kind of fed into, and it was like, run as far as you can in 24 hours, and you had teams of 5 or 6, I can't remember, and y'all can switch off as much as you want to. So I can't remember the name of that come and take it race that happens. But you know, it's just, you know, a fun thing that we did, but you know, that was only running. This is like, it could be anything, like workout wise. It's just so cool when you think about it.
It's a novelty idea.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like it's the experience, and it's not like some super serious competition.
No.
Where
we're not gonna have like
there's no place, you know, podiums and all of that stuff. It's, you know, if you need to sit out for an hour, like it's, you know, I feel like it kind of is what it is. Like, you know, it's fine. You're just here for the challenge. You're taking on as much of that challenge as you can.
And to be honest, a lot of people are just like, they love the bragging rights.
They do,
you know?
yeah.
I don't need a cash prize. I don't know.
I just want to say I did it.
Yeah.
That's a little thing I can put in my pocket. And I did that.
Yeah.
So I think, the novelty of it, and you know, them sending someone in to run it, I think is really cool too.
Yeah.
Because then we, as the gym, kind of get to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So our gym, I know our gym people, and I have there's other people who have just signed up. Carlos is doing it.
Oh, I can't wait to see him again.
So he'll be like, he's looking for a partner.
I need him to show up with his skull, just like you people don't even know what this is.
No. So signups for that are live. I think I just checked yesterday. We have like 16.
Oh, I'm so excited.
16 or 17. So got some discount codes for that.
Yeah.
If anyone wants to
see if
do
you put them in the show notes.
I can do
we
the
have
link.
show notes, right? Are we there? We got show notes.
We can. We do now.
Sure. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. I just hear it on podcasts all the time. Yeah. At some point, we're gonna be like, man, like, we'll be talking, and as she's talking, we can, like, because she's gonna send us videos and pictures. Maybe we can have like a picture somewhere in the screen. I don't know. We'll do something someday.
Let's get real techie for
I
some
know.
fitness people.
Yeah. So we can't do like this intro or like whatever package that we have.
We just got a logo.
It's a work in progress.
AI exists.
We're
and we just
progress.
now did a
Visioning big things for us in this
yes,
podcast.
yeah.
So
live captions too will be next.
yeah. Oh, I can't wait.
We'll be live.
Yeah. Look out for us.
Translation, live translation.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
get
probably
Liz in here to
The fish star.
The fish
that
star.
translation is going to go over fantastic.
So hopefully we'll have another recap after
Endure.
Endure.
Yeah, definitely.
Contact us if you have any questions about, and truly, she does CrossFit.
I do. I really just do. I mean, I do CrossFit. I've done a little bit more Orange Theory just for the incline, like just climbing mountains. Like I need incline, and we live in Texas.
And a bunch of us, we're doing this High Rocks thing in November also. We're still doing CrossFit, but so we're adding a little bit of running just because that's all really you need to prep for.
Yeah.
So,
truly
awesome. So hit us up, y'all. I mean, we're all about doing stuff outside these four walls. All three of us. We have an amazing family of people here that love to show up for each other. and
some really cool stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just fill up your calendar. Say that you're actually living. So
yeah, 10 out of 10. Message me if you have any questions about any of the events.
Yeah, in the show notes.
Yeah, show notes, comment, message, whatever. I just want people to go experience something new.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. Thanks for coming again.
Yeah, of course.
Repeat.
Anytime.
Yes. Beautiful.
This has been Talk Fit.
All right, guys.
Bye.